Hey everyone, thank you so much for coming. It's great to see you all, and I've had a few little chats to some of you already. My name's Kathy Kirkpatrick. I've been invited by Lou, who you'll probably know. She is maybe the instigator of the Central Coast Music and Arts organisation. I want to thank team members who are also here helping and setting it all up. Kay on visuals, Shanae, you just saw, Morgan, the Fantastic Stripes is with us, and you all. I'd like to acknowledge that, I need my glasses. I'd like to acknowledge that I'm on Darkinjung land, that I'm a stranger in this place, but I know that the Darkinjung people have made a deep, rich culture involving music and arts in this place for tens of thousands of years. Tonight, we're going to be talking about our contributions to our communities and each other and our friends and our family in this place at this time. Now, this is the first mix and master, I believe. It's going to become a monthly event, sometimes about making new friends and sharing what you know and finding other musicians and people of like mind, and sometimes about being resourced about some information that will help you with your art and your life, hopefully. So, what I'm going to do is, I'll tell you where I'll go with this. I'll tell you a tiny bit about myself so that I'm not just talking through my hat. Then I'll talk about what I think a festival is looking for, and I'll help you get into the shoes of someone that might be curating a festival so that you know what they need and how they need it. I'm going to be talking about the sort of materials that you will need to create, devise, modify, get together, and how to present those in a really easy way, and how to share it with someone that might be putting on an event. That'll cover visual stuff, written things, it'll have links to the internet, it'll involve live footage, photos, and other bits of information that people who run a live event need. I'll have a word about fees. It'll probably be a short word because fees are very much how long's a piece of string, and does very much vary on the scale of a festival and their budget, which is often unknown. And at the end, we'll talk about just some different opportunities that you might have for applying to things, and we'll look at maybe just even look quickly at an application just so that we can see what sort of fields come up. How does that sound? I'm trying to do like 10 minutes of Q&A at the end. How are we going? Okay, all right. Whew. Right, now, introduce yourself, Kathy. That's the question. I started getting involved with musicians probably at the turn of the last century. Started going to a lot of gigs and festivals, and I was a graphic designer at the time and a photographer and a videographer, and so I was involved with artists at the end of how they were presenting themselves. What photo, what were they saying about themselves, where were they choosing to launch their album, all these sorts of things. Now, because I was involved in that, I started saying to them, well, do you really want this photo? Is that really showing what you're about? Do you think you could write something a bit clearer or covers more things about your act? And anyway, one thing led to another, and I actually started saying, how about I get that stuff together for you? I'll write a bio, I'll get some no video, I'll make video, blah, blah, blah. And then I started actually applying with that little treasure of things some people call assets or collateral or just different material. I started applying for them to different things. Now, I became an artist manager and a booking agent. I went on the road, touring a whole bunch of different acts, some of whom you might have heard of, like the Crooked Fiddle Band, Mick Conway from Captain Matchbox in his various incarnations, some singer-songwriters like Liz Frensham, I did a little bit with David Bridie, and then I started bringing acts in from overseas and applying on their behalf to festivals here, like big ones like Woodford Folk Festival up in Queensland, Port Fairy in Victoria. There's every state has its own folk festival, like Cygnet in Tasmania, Fairbridge in Western Australia, and I'm sure you know a range of others. And because of I also started curating a little singer-songwriter night monthly in my local neighbourhood, in which I invited 3 acts, solo duo or a small band, to come and I just made it like this, a nice listening audience with some nice sound, and you got paid, not a lot, but we had a time together. So that's the sort of scale of things that I've been involved in. And what I want to talk to you about is try and help you get into the shoes of someone who's trying desperately to create a fantastic event for their community. And they've put out the word, applications are open. Now, I've talked to a number of you are artists or involved with the council or a high school or a group. You might be representing artists. Your concern are things about your art. How good's my songwriting going? Who should I record with? Where should I put those songs? How am I developing? How's the band developing? Now, the festival booker, what they are interested in you as a performer. They want to know what you are going to be like on their stage and what experience is their audience going to have while you are on that stage for 42.5 minutes. Because their interest primarily is their audience. It could be their local community, it could be, they might be coming in from all over. Now, they have to program a range of experiences, unless it's a dedicated reggae event, and it's all reggae, okay, great. But mostly they're not like that. They want something for kids, they want something that's funny, they want some blues, they want something that's going to appeal to your mind. And they often have categories that they're booking to, like we want to have a blues act. We need to get some ukuleles involved. People love that. We want some really, something that people can really dance to at night. We need a couple of them. We need a late night act. We need a comedian to lighten things. We need something that works at 11 a.m. We need some duos. We need some singer-songwriters that are going to break people's hearts. We need a choir. What other cultures are part of our community? How do we reach out to them? Do you understand? They're starting to think about a whole experience. Now, they've probably only got 1 or 2 slots for this, even if it's a week-long festival. And so if you're applying, it could be your band or your singer-songwriter or your dance group, there might be 10, 100, 1,000 other people trying to get into that bit of their program. So it's really important that you present yourself as well as you can and make it easy for them to understand quickly what you do, how it's going to come across, and how you are going to make a contribution to their event. Because they're probably a volunteer too. They might be trying to get through 200 applications and make a decision. So you need to think about how can they, as quickly as possible, understand what you are offering them. Okay? So I'm going to talk about what things they need and then how to get them together. And I'm just going to say one here as well, how to contact you easily. They do not want to write a message to you on Instagram and wait a week. They do not want that. They want a phone number. They want an email address. They want to be able to contact you easily. Okay. How are we going so far? Good. All right, great. Yes?
I just want to say, just to let everyone know, the reason why I'm filming it is so it's available later, and a link will be sent out on my Zoom newsletter, so you'll be able to read it. So that's why I'm here.
And if I get you up here as a volunteer, you'll need to sign a release. No, you won't. No, there'll be no slapstick. Okay. Okay, now. Now, the chances are they're not actually going to be able to see you live before agreeing to book you. You have to help them imagine it. Now, the best way for this is footage, live footage of you on a stage, preferably in front of an audience. Doesn't have to be, because that's what they're booking, a live experience. It's very easy now to, get somebody's phone out and, but it's also easy to get bad footage of that. So you need to plan it. You need to get a reliable friend who's not going to try to do the footage at the same time as dancing. Doesn't work. Tripod, lean against the wall, get close. Okay, you're not going to have a 2-camera thing, but you can, and particularly if you do a show somewhere good, or you think there's going to be okay lighting or whatever, make sure you get a document of it. Now, it doesn't have to, we don't need an hour of it. They'll need a minute. A song, 2 songs, 2 good songs that represent what you do. A heartbreaker and the dance one. Your strongest. Yeah? If you can be bothered, or if you've got skills, or if you've got a friend, a montage is good too. Yeah? Including some audience going bananas and dancing, or laughing, or crying, or thinking. We want to have a lot of experiences, okay? A montage is good too, but really, let's think about it. They're only going to be looking at probably a minute. So don't make the first minute you setting up and tuning. We don't want them. Now, okay. Now, the range of things that you're going to need to either create, you're going to need to create some things. You're going to need to get them into one spot, and let's get them in a place where you can reuse them. So if you write a blurb, a couple of paragraphs to describe what you do, file it somewhere where you got it forever, and you're going to use it again, okay, and modify it and make it better. And you probably need some, yeah. So the type of things that you're going to need to get is a photo, at least one. A good portrait one, like what we call a promo shot, which is you and the other people that you are making music with standing in a field of sunflowers, right? With good lighting, or leaning against a wall, or whatever it is. You know what promo shots look like. Just get a good camera. Don't do it in full sun. Do it in what we call open shade. Pray, every bride and groom or person getting married should pray for an overcast day, because the lighting is good on our faces. Get a good promo shot and get it at a good resolution. A meg, not 100K from Facebook. It needs to be a good quality, a good resolution. Put some time and thought into that. You probably only need 2. Right. They need to be able to listen. They need to be able to easily listen to your songs online. Most people won't want to go to Spotify, just because it'd be hard to find you again, and maybe your name's, Jane Jones. Maybe your band name's Australia, something very Googleable, or Pond. It's going to be very hard to find you. Okay, so they're going to easy places for them to listen are places like SoundCloud. It's free. Bandcamp is I absolutely adore. It's free. It'll take a little while for you to set it up, but I really recommend it. And also I'll talk to you in a little minute about getting like a one-pager type of thing. Let's have a visual while we're here. Okay. So let's look for a moment. Okay, so this is Bandcamp. Does anyone put up your hand if you've ever been to a Bandcamp site or aware of it? Okay, yeah, okay, well, okay, good. Well, half yes, half no, great, awesome. It's just a portal, bandcamp.com. You can set up an artist page. You have to fill in heaps of fields, but the great thing about it is it's all in the one place. So this is Liz Stringer. She's from Melbourne. And quickly, the thing I love about this portal is it gives you your own URL, generates lizstringer.bandcamp.com/music. Now that's yours forever and you can share it to anyone. Anyone in the world can see this. Now, if you click on this over in the top corner, you get to put one photograph of yourself, zoom in, okay, I'm getting the idea. Singer-songwriter, she looks like that. Under it, you put your name, and then the first thing they ask you is where you're from. Then you can put up your music. She's got a bunch of releases. The new one's here. Come on. Also, they ask you for a blurb. It can be short or long. Liz Stringer has been a steadfast and captivating feature of the Australian music landscape for over a 6-album career. Okay, we're learning things. Her name, where she's from. She's got albums. There's been 6. She's venerated by her peers. Blah, blah, blah. She's world-class. She's a vocalist, multi-instrumentalist, known for her powerful live performances, rich storytelling. Okay, we're learning lots of things about her. Strong vocal, she's a storyteller, people know about her. Genre-defying songs place her among the most important songwriters of her era. Okay, so she's decided, I'm not going to talk about genre. All you need to know about me is I'm a great songwriter, I've got a strong voice. But we're learning things, right? And then, new album. Where is it? Here we go. You upload your songs. You can put up one. You put up a whole album. It doesn't have to be published anywhere. Just a good quality WAV file. And anyone in the world can click on that and listen to the whole song for free. But the great thing about Bandcamp is you can very easily purchase as well. You click purchase the whole album or just a single song, and a very large amount of money goes straight to the artist. That's why I love it. And also it gives you, it's got another field where you can put in your blurb about the album itself, and it gives you some handy fields where you can put in things like what's your release date, this is the 28th of March coming up, and who's on the album. So very quickly, just in one page, I'm learning a lot. There's a lot of musicians, I can see who they are, I can see their instrument, Biddy Connor, strings. So can you see that very quickly we can see what this person's about? Let's look at another one. King Stingray, same idea. Name, where they're from, one great photograph of them. Here's a new album, let's listen, and within 10 seconds I'm listening to their song. Now you can also give someone the ability to download a free version of that song. You can give them a special code, and so you can send to a booker saying, so if they want to get it, they can download it. So any questions on that as a single place you can go? Yes?
What about a link tree?
Linktree, yes. Good, also good, because you can have lots of links. Let's have a look at, I was going to go to the... Well, the great thing about something like Linktree is you can actually you can link to videos and things as well, right? Yes, which is, I think, I'm saying Bandcamp's sort of like one tool in your box, it's like it, but I think even better is something like Linktree, or I'm going to go to the one here called onepagelink.com, which enables you to put some links to other things as well. Like, so this person, Lady Lion, this band, they're using this one to for a new album. So about some photos, music, that's a link to SoundCloud, some links to their socials, shows that are coming up, and then there's a bit of more, which they've chosen to talk about previous releases, and most importantly, some contact. Very easy contact. So for bookings, it's got doesn't have a phone number, but it's got 2 people that you can email. Now, right, so what that looks like when it's blank is this. Onepagelink.com. I logged myself in as Nomadic Fish. It's free again, and it just spoon feeds you. Put a photograph here. So you drop a photograph in there, and then this title shows your navigation memories is enabled. Oh, okay, and then about. Just spoon feeds you. What to put in, when to put in it, where to put it in. Add some photos. Put some video. Here's where you put your music in. Here's where you add your links to your socials, so that here's where you can put some of your shows. Could be past shows to show what your history is, where you've played. Have you played at Woodford? Have you played on Tubular Festival? Have you played in local bar, wherever you've done? And some contacts. So it's just giving you the recipe, and it's free. And it'll give you a dedicated URL that you can send to anyone. And I like what you're saying, Linktree is very similar to this, right?
Yeah, it doesn't have the details of that. That's probably better because they don't, like Linktree, what it is, it's just a tree with a lot of links. It'll take you to the separate pages pretty quickly. It's great, but you're going to go to different pages and open up different tabs.
Right.
While what you're showing has got it all on one tab.
Yes.
Probably just, yeah, it's like exactly one page link. That probably makes it easier for somebody to look at quickly and just get everything they need quick. Yeah, so that's good. What's that one called?
It's called onepagelink.com. So ONE pagelink.com. And I think if I went into if I go into, what am I doing? I'll just go into an incognito window. So it's one page link. So pretend it doesn't know me here. So it just says, here we are, sign up for free. And then it just asks you, okay. And these are the things, these are the sort of things that you, in fact, this is a great learning bit of material as well, because it's figured out what someone that doesn't know you needs to know. Your artist name, what country you're from, what city you're from, what state you're in, your name, your email address, how to contact you. And then you just get going, and then it'll just feed you. Now, I am going to suggest I don't think this is going to be very big. How do we get this bigger? Now, I'm going to spend a little bit of time talking about text. Oh, yes?
For example, for the artists that we have been doing a lot of effort in probably in a presence in Spotify, with taking care about having streams and all that, would you recommend, because I think probably festivals are not considering much that presence, and instead it's more important probably SoundCloud or Bandcamp or profile?
Look, it's a good question. The question's about Spotify. You know, maybe you've been trying to get a lot of numbers on your Spotify or your whatever. Look, I think if you're in the millions or something like that of views or downloads or something, cool. Yeah, okay. But it's a sort of another thing. I mean, look, and I think there are the sort of festival that if you say, you know, 100,000 people have listened to our songs, yeah, I'd put that in a bio. But if they just want to listen quickly, I mean, it's not, actually, look, some festival applications do ask for a Spotify link, but a lot of them, it's basically they're going to want to listen online and also be able to download 2 or 3 good quality MP3s. Because what they're probably going to do is make a folder for you and get your bio and your photo and a couple of your songs and put them in a little zip. And then they might need to share that with other people in their team. You know, everyone, okay, I think this guy looks good, his band's okay, let's go put it around the board, you know. They don't want to all go and listen everywhere, and they want to just share that little zip file. Oh yeah, I see what they're like. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. Now, what I do for everyone that I've ever represented is I make just a text file with all the information about that act in one place, so that when because once you've got this little treasure, oh man, let's look around at what festivals are around. Let's apply to them all, you know, big and small. You know, Port Fairy, you know, Kangaroo Valley, everything, the local council one. And you won't just be reinventing the wheel all the time. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like it says, oh, write about yourself. Oh no, not again, what am I gonna write? Oh, where's that photo gone? Oh, this is the tiny one. Oh, where's the 2 megabyte one? Oh, no. Okay, right, yeah, it's just a terrible block, right? You just wanna know, it's all here. All I need to do is go to the festival, plug it all in and see how I go. Okay, so it's a start, right? It's a start. Make it easy for yourself. So I name of the act, where they're from, who's in the band, their names and what instruments they play. They're going to ask for sure. Because remember, they want a live act. All the links, just have them all in one place. You don't want to go look up Facebook and get the link again. Just put them all in here. So I've got Spotify, SoundCloud, Facebook. They have a website. They've got a sort of a one-pager thing. A place where you can download their MP3s. Links, don't send people big files. Please don't send people big files. Send them a link to, what do we got, like a Google Drive folder, a Dropbox, so that they can go and get it later, see it later, and they don't have, it doesn't fill up their box. Maybe their latest release, and then I've got some of their video stuff. These are little live on stage things. They're just YouTube links. Look, you might have put a lot of time and money into doing a film clip, and you know, if it shows the band playing, okay, great. But if it's, you know, it's a dog running through a forest, it's not needed. It's not going to show them what you were like on stage. Yes?
We will sometimes play as a 6-person, some as a 3. Do you recommend choosing one particular format when you're applying to the festivals?
You will have to choose a format because they will ask you, are you 3 people or 6 people?
Okay.
Because it would be a financial concern for them as well about how many beds.
Yep. Cool,
But you could apply twice,
okay. Yep.
you know? Trio and 6-0.
Twice rather than put in the word that we're a 6-piece but can play as a 3-piece, so it gets complicated, right?
Good question. Are you going to ask for the same fee if you're 3 or 6? Yeah, nah. Yeah, nah. Okay.
Twice.
Okay.
I'd apply twice. So if you've got live video of yourself, make it representative of what you are giving them. You can't say, oh, we don't have the saxophone anymore. Oh, we don't have the choir usually, it's usually just me. Make it representative of what you're actually putting forward to them. I don't mind if one of your, your drummers changed or, but you know what I mean? Like make them be able to imagine what they're getting. Any question on that? Other things they're going to need are tech specs. It's also called a stage plan or tech requirements. This is the Word version. 2 vocal mics on stands, 1 instrument mic, probably for the banjo or something, 1 XLR line, plug into some widget that they've got, and an armless chair and a stool. That's what this duo needs to perform live on a stage. And a festival needs to know that. Hello.
Is that what you need them to provide, or you also provide?
That is what I would ask the event to provide for us so that they can play. They're going to bring their other stuff. So they'll bring their instruments, they might bring some other widgets and things, but this is what we need to plug all the instruments and widgets in. They're going to ask you this for sure. Now that we're on this, I'm going to show you what one looks like. Who's drawn a stage plot before? Yes? Okay, we're good. Half, okay, good. Sorry, I should have opened this before. I'm just going to open. Okay, here's one. Okay. You're going to need this. You can get. Has anyone used Canva? Yeah. Okay. So get someone to use something. If you don't have graphic design stuff, it won't work doing it very well just doing it in Word or something because everything kind of moves around. But what you're going to need is the name of the act. I do like a little list as well of what it is, so a sound person can easily see. Vocal mics too, okay. I don't want to count them all, And the really important thing about this is put the front of the audience at the bottom of the picture, because when your soundie's walking around on stage plugging everything in, it doesn't matter. But you imagine once she's at her sound desk and talking to you on the stage, she's from the audience's point of view. So the front of the stage needs to be at the base of this. And what I do is I put their name like Mick, Robbie, because they're going to say, Robbie, is your guitar on, right? They don't want to go like you with the drums, okay? So I just put Mick, Robbie, I put what they've got. So Robbie here, he plays heaps of things. He's got guitars, he's got a stomp box, he's got a dobro, he's got all these things. He needs a chair, a vocal mic. He brings his own, he's asking for a guitar amp, or he brings his own, I can't remember. Instrument mic goes in front of that, and he also needs a DI for some magic that he does. Mick, easy. Vocal mic, instrument mic. Ukulele. It's easy. Very bookable.
What's that program called?
I did it in a program called Illustrator, but there's a thing online called Canva, C-A-N-V-A, am I right? It's free, and you can draw graphical stuff and download it as a JPEG. You just need a JPEG or a PDF. That's all it is. Let's have a quick look at another one. That's a really easy one. Let's look at Dub Marine. Okay, let's not look at Dub Marine yet. Let's look at... let's turn this guy around. Now you're asking me. Oh, yes, here we go. No, I don't want to have a free trial. Hello, see ya. Just turn it. Oh, okay, we're not going to use this one because it's off me. Okay. These guys did not make it. These guys made it in something very basic. That's okay. Okay. Nice thing they've got here is the name of, with a phone number of someone that can be called if the soundie looks at this and has a question. Drums says what they've got, where it is. They need to fold back, front of the stage, front of house. But it shows where people are standing and what they need. We've got a violin here. The violin needs a DI. This makes it easy. And this is actually believe it or not, this is pertinent to the booking question. Because if they see, these guys need 32 channels on the desk, some rooms and festivals, that won't work. Or it's too much equipment, or it'll take too much time, because you imagine a live event, you might have 5 or 10 minutes to turn over. So that the last people have got to get off. You've got to bring all your gear on, plug it all in, make sure it's all working, and you're away. And that's for the audience's experience. So if there's too much stuff, a lot of bookers will go, well, what are we going to, you know?
Mixed festivals, and sometimes might say, we've got 30 people come on stage and there's no change over time. You think, well, how are you going to do it? So that comes out of playing time.
Comes out of playing time. Yet, if you didn't hear 30, if you've got 30 musicians on stage, what's going to be the change over time? And everyone's going to get burnt.
Yeah.
The audience is going to get burnt because they'll be like, oh, this isn't looking like it's going to start in the program, and they've got someone else circled. And then also for you, and then probably the soundies are tired. But there are certain events where it will work for, and a good programmer will allow the time in between the last act. I had this all the time with Mick Conway, because there was like stroviols and, you know, things that things that need to be constructed. Now, the other thing, once it gets fancy, you can do this thing, which is a channel list. Name of the person, what they play, and it's just a list. Soundies need, this is a kind of more sophisticated way that the soundies like to sometimes deal with things. And it's good for yourself to know what's involved with our act. And someone was asking before, let's get Dubmarine up. You know, what about, we've got a 3-piece and a 6-piece. Well, you might think, well, this is going to be a small festival and single stage, turnover fast, let's just pitch the smaller act. And probably their budget's lower as well. Okay? So Dubmarine, they've got a whole little, they've got a whole lot of stuff that they want to tell the festival and the soundie. This is all about the monitors. Monitors are the little foldback speakers. They'll need to know where they need to be. It's part of the stage plot. Oh, and the back line, the hardware and the amplifiers, there's heaps of stuff. I mean, look, this is why this act can only be booked in certain settings. And I don't know whether I've even got a picture of them on stage. Yeah, so here we go. So that's their stage plot. It's got colour and everything. Again, this is the stage, drums at the back. They've involved these little photographs or diagrams. I'm not a big fan of it. I'd much rather just have a little icon that says microphone than actually put it, but anyway, it's all good. Now that I've said that, how do you feel about drawing up a stage plot for your act? Great. Well done, Gabriel. I like that positivity. Very good. Yeah, you're going to need one. And just have it PDF, JPEG, put it in your file. Okay, that's an asset. That's what we call an asset. Now, what other assets do we need? Now, blurbs. You will need to describe yourself in various lengths. You'll need a one-liner. It's like making a movie. Have that elevator pitch. It's a road movie of a duo of cats that go on the road and steal cars. Oh, amazing. That's your elevator pitch, okay. Made that up. That could be a movie. I'd watch a movie about cats that steal cars and do bank heists. Maybe if it was dogs. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You need a one-liner. Gobsmackingly engaging Chicago blues duo, harp and guitar with real heart. I have tried to compress as much about these people as I can into 10 words. You know where they're from, you know their style, you know there's 2 of them, you know their instruments, and I'm telling you that they're very engaging. It's very important for a live event, and that they've got a lot of heart. Like it's, you know, I really tried to make this a dense sell. 20, and I have bunches of these. 25 words, 50 words, 100 words, 250 words. Why? Because you're going to get asked in your application. And you don't want to be midnight trying to apply to this thing and it's like, oh, now it needs 150 words. Oh, you know, just have it. Just have a document. Do yourself a favour. You know, like, so longer one. Ultra rhythmic and highly entertaining, this Chicago blues duo creates a very big sound with just a harmonica, a guitar, and vocal harmonies. Jaw-dropping virtuosity and hilarious storytelling. You can hear it, can't you, Tim? Yeah. 50 words. And then 50 words, I talk about who they worked with. They worked with Sonny Terry, and they sound like Brownie McGee, something like that. They had 1,000 million downloads on Spotify. This is where you get, okay, so then we get fancier, 100 words. Oh, what do we add in 100 words? Mining, ragtime, so influences. Mining, ragtime, acoustic blues, old-time country, jug band music, and blah, blah, blah. These guys are practitioners of styles that defined the blues in its earliest days. So I've got more room to talk about their influences and who they sound like and who they've worked with. The new album, its name. And then the long one. Oh my goodness, there we go. Like now we're deeply rooted in the 1920s and 30s, a lot more detail. Do you see what I'm talking about? But there's a few things you need to get all the time. Your name, where you're from, how many of you are there, what are your instruments? If you don't want to talk about a genre, talk about your vibe. What's the experience this audience is going to have? Are they going to blow the doors off with their dancing? Are they going to cry because you've your heartbreaking journal stories? Are they going to find you so funny? Ooh. Are they going to be blown away by your virtuosity? Have you got a sousaphone? And someone can play it really well. Can you walk around the festival because you've got a sousaphone and a violin and the drummer can improvise? I mean, what is going to be the audience's experience? Because remember, we're talking about... Now, if you're not... A couple of you said that you're not applying to festivals, but you're applying for a grant or for something. What I'm saying applies in that you're trying to explain what you do in the most dynamic and interesting and attractive way in a shortest amount of space and time. And you get that material together and hone it. I honed this stuff for years. Then we got into this one, like where have they played? Oh, look at all the festivals they've played at. And then something I love, quotes. Now, if any of you have media quotes, yes, write them down. I don't care if it's the local paper, write it down. If they said you were engaging and funny, let's get that quote in your bio. What have these guys said? 2 marvellous musicians. Oh, it's a bit weak, isn't it? Okay. These guys make a thoroughly convincing case that this music is the real deal, and their spirited performances make it sound both fresh and contemporary. Oh, that's not a bad little review. That's from someone that's seen the act. Again, why these are good is because it's someone else, not you. Look, you could have made it up, but let's say most of us were honest, okay? Someone else is reviewing you as a live act. That's what they need to know. Okay, so get some quotes. If you haven't got quotes, get some. Get someone to write something about you. And then, that's all. Okay, so any question there? And I've just done all that in, it's a Word file. I just have that in my folder, and I can use that. And when I come to the festival application, it's just all there, and you just cut and paste it. The other great thing about this is how many times have you done an online anything, and then you hit next, and it's all gone. Or something is logged out, or timed out, or something. And then, who's got the energy to do it again? You're so flurging. You know, I'm not having that story in my life anymore. I just go, let's do it again tomorrow. I've got it all written down. Just plug it all in tomorrow. Be easy. Just cut and paste. Right. Where are we going? Okay, how are we going? How are we going for time? Let's just do a little dance to refresh our minds. Oh, it's 1:15. We're nearly there. Okay. So assets. We've talked about getting a good photograph done. High quality, JPEG. They've got to be able to listen and download, not your whole album, 2 or 3 songs. Video. You can put it on YouTube. That's okay, with a link. They don't want the whole thing. Tech spec, we talk about that. Blurbs and descriptions, yes. Reviews, history, yep. Socials, okay, your socials. Yeah, now the good thing about putting some, you know, if you've got any kind of social media, you know, they might have a look at that just to see if anyone's engaging with you. And are you playing? Are you playing around? You've got some few photographs of yourself at the pub playing? Is anyone engaging? Does anyone care? They're going to like that. I'm not going to spend a lot of time looking at it. So that's, when you do something like this, it's called an EPK. Wait, no, that's not an EPK. One of these things, it's called electronic press kit, just because it's got all the stuff. And in fact, it would be even better if there was a link here, which says like download all of our photos, bio, because you want to put the bio in a nice little thing. Let's have a look at some other people's bios. Now, no. You're doing very well, everyone.
What format is the EPK? Is it a Word document or is it a web link of sorts?
This is just, yeah, it's online. It's just it's a URL, so it's a web link.
So which platform are you using?
That one's, it's called onepagelink.com.
So that is your EPK then?
Yeah. You can, but also you can make a PDF. Because a PDF, will, you know, you can do it in Word or whatever, and then you print it as a PDF, and links will be like that. I like that too, because you can send someone a PDF, and they're little, you know, they're really small little documents. So yes, I've sent a lot of. Oh my goodness, changed my life. I've sent a lot of PDFs in my life. I'm going to show you when I get my thing. Oh yeah, here we go. Now, please don't get it to look like this, okay? When you do your Word doc and you make a little bio, a little standalone bio is great. Please don't get it to look like this, okay? Terrible font, photo whacked in there. No, Barry, no. We say no to you. Oh, look, he might be fantastic, but what I'm seeing there just makes me think it's terrible, because we're having a visual impact, right? Please don't make it look like this either. This is Georgia Mooney. She's fantastic, and I'm sure that's great information about her. If they just say like, give us a blurb, great. But like, this is not a CV. Okay, yes. Right. This is a PDF. Thank you for asking. Good photograph of yourself. I like a long, thin one because I don't want the whole first thing to be just like a big name of the band. And a quote from the most famous person we can think of, Brian Eno. Okay, the Good Fiddle Band are completely surprising. You know why I write that? Is because nobody knows how to describe them, and as soon as you say klezmer, I hate klezmer. As soon as you say punk, oh, I hate punk. No, so they're just surprising, okay? The music is original and Don Quixote-esque, and yet has the strength and some deep and strong roots. I can't say I've ever heard anything else like it. Now that is a brilliant quote from someone that is known. So that's why I put it straight up front. And it also excites the imagination a bit as well. Still don't have any idea what sort of sounds these people will make, but I'm kind of interested in finding out from their cool photo and the first quote. Now, okay, now let's go. So then blurb, blurby blurb, websites, they're hot links. This is me putting what I did before. The band members, their name and their instrument, some YouTube links, some reviews, and a way to contact, phone number and stuff at the bottom. We're done. Let's look at another one, quickly. I just did that in like Word and then turned it into a PDF.
Is that just a resume or something?
It's
that you send off?
Oh, EPK?
EPK.
Oh yes, yes.
Press kit.
Yeah, it means electronic press kit.
Okay, and maybe certain festivals will ask for that style of application.
Yep.
Just a different style of application.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
They might ask you to upload your bio.
Yeah, right, yeah. And that's what that is.
And if they ask me to upload a bio, I do that, not this, and not that. If you upload that, you're going to go in the bin.
I wouldn't even hire him. I wouldn't even hire him for a corporate job at the office.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, it's just context. Exactly. No, but that's no good. Great point. It's just context. This would be perfectly fine if I'm applying for a corporate job, right? But you know, we're trying to make art and give an audience a unique, crazy, amazing experience that's going to make an awesome contribution to this person's event. That's what you need to think to yourself when you're applying. Okay, so these are basically like CVs. That's exactly right. CVs for bands. Okay, the Jezebels. They got fancy. Okay, here we are. They got fancy. They had more than one column. Fantastic. If you've got the skills to do something like this, or your friend does, yes, get it made. And the great thing is you can read, here are the links, here's the info. Fanny Lumsden, she did a background, I'm not a big fan of it, but you know. So that's your bio. Put time and effort into it and reuse it and hone it over time. Then you could use it for anything. Okay, now that's the EPK. Now we're going to have to wrap up soon. Fees is very difficult. Because their budget's not known to us. Even an event that you think looks like a really big festival, well, we know that there are a lot of events are falling over, and that's because just they can't make the budget fit the ticket sales. So they're under pressure. So look, you know, I wouldn't pitch $100 because I think it does, look. But look, if it's a local thing, you might be talking about $250 or something. You know, we don't have much transport costs. And, you know, we won't bring the llama, you know. If you're going to ask for $2,000, you're not going to get it, you know. And the thing about bookers is they're often quite time poor. So if you ask for like $950 and that is literally 5 times more than they can afford and might be a third of their whole budget. Look, if they really, really, really want you because, you know, of the llama, no one else has put a llama forward, dancing llama with the banjo, come on, let's get this act. You know, they might come to you and say, look, I've only got $300, can you do it? But they might, unless they really, really want you, they probably don't have time to do that and they'll just go, $800, no. It's very, very difficult to do. I always think that the best pricing is where they read it and go, yeah, okay, yeah, that's definitely the best country act that has applied to us, so yes. If they just go, oh yeah, great, get them in, yeah, case of beer, yeah, get them. You know, that's wrong too. You want them to, you sort of want to hit a soft spot. It may be that you can ask around a bit. Best way is someone else, if you know someone else has played on a particular event or festival, ask them, what did you get? What's reasonable? And if you, and the, I'm going to say a couple of extra things. One is opportunities. I think once you've got your collection of all your little treasures, your live video, blah, 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 have a go. Try applying to things, trial and error. And if you get knocked back, you could send a polite email saying, oh, look, we're just starting out applying to things. Look, you know, I know you probably had a lot of acts, but, you know, could you give me a word of advice about how to be more successful next time? Did we charge too much? Or, you know, they may or may not write back to you. But if they do write back to you, please don't push it, because there is a kind of, why there's so much silence in this industry, you've all had it, right? You put something forward and you get nothing. The reason we've basically trained them to do this, because they don't want to get into an argument with you about your art. And nor is it their place. What are they going to say? Oh, we don't book blues bands. What are you going to say? Oh, but we're not blues. We're not just blues. They don't have time or the energy or the right really to get into that. So if they write back to you, just honestly, just be polite. Be polite as professional as you can and as short as you can. And I'm going to leave you with this, I think, before we have questions. If you get booked, enjoy it, be grateful, know that there's 100 graves behind you, and please don't act up and unravel it all. Be nice, be great, be easy. Be the band that cleans up after yourself and washes the sheets. Even if your billet says, oh no, I'll do it. Get them to the machine. Be nice, be the people that they want to have back. Because you were great, you did what you want, you did what you were asked to do, when you were asked to do it, on time, within the time, you got off stage when you were asked to get off stage, you were sent in your form when it was needed to go in, and you were so nice and great and everything. They're like, we're going to get those guys again. Because there is a lot of competition for that spot on the stage. That's it. All right. Oh, we've got a few minutes for questions. I didn't talk about showcases like Big Sound and stuff. I mean, have a crack. A showcase you don't get paid for. In fact, you might have to pay to play. But what it's designed to have an opportunity to be in front of some industry people who might want to help you be your publicist or your manager or something like that. So there's a bit of a different kettle of fish. But you know, if you think you've got the calibre and you're ready and you've got a whole lot of track record, give it a go. It's just an application. Now, questions. I'm Kathy. Yes?
I'll let you go.
No, mate, go on.
There you go.
I was going to say, what are some festivals that you recommend, some good festivals that you recommend in the state?
Interstate?
No, in New South Wales.
Oh, in New South Wales.
Yeah, anywhere in New South Wales. Like, what are some good festivals that you recommend that you recommend?
I love the folk festivals. They call themselves folk, but they're very broad generally. There's a whole bunch of, and there's little ones like St Albans, Kangaroo Valley. Let's have some, who knows, oh, this is a good one. Who knows some festivals in New South Wales?
Smoking Broke.
Smoking,
Broke.
where's that?
Broke.
At Broke. Broke, oh, yep.
Just past Big Alban, Hunter Valley.
Yep.
Is there a place where you can go to find the festivals?
Oh, good question. Oh, no, I don't know about that. Oh, well, I mean, you could look at, I mean, I reckon if you Google New South Wales folk festivals, you'll get a list. Yep.
So, are you primarily folk? Like, that's your music that you associate with a lot? I just saw the Bob Dylan photo, it was just...
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've represented all sorts. I've represented reggae, crazy rock, blues, vaudeville. Not a lot of. I don't do a lot of. I don't do electronica.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You said the Kangaroo Valley. What's the one at Kangaroo Valley?
Yeah,
What's
it's very folky.
What's it called?
Called a Kangaroo Valley Folk Festival.
Okay.
But there's Tamworth. There's ones at Kiama. There's ones at the Illawarra down in Wollongong. Who's played at something? Who's played it somewhere? I'm looking for suggestions of festivals. Blues Fest, yep.
So there's a local one, Rolling Sets as well, that Rolling Sets, which is at the entrance.
Oh yeah, entrance.
Actually open it up for some of the local emerging artists to put their name up to be able to do it.
Yeah, cool. All right, another question?
Are you still putting things together?
I like the way you're thinking. I had a really intense year professionally in 2019, and I looked at my watch and thought, oh, I run my own company. No one's going to give me a break. I have to organise it for myself. So I organised a really long rest for myself in 2020, and I gave my whole industry time off. And I basically haven't gone back to it. It was hard before, and it's a lot harder now. Any other questions? Yes.
Would you ever ask a festival what they're paying? Would that just not be appropriate?
I have, but I kind of waited till I felt like I'd applied a few. I did to Queenscliff once. I sort of applied a lot of times, a lot of years, and never got any yeses. And by that time, I felt like I maybe had a bit of a rapport with one of the bookers, and you've got to do it in a very light-handed way. Just sort of said, look, basically, am I just wasting my time in the acts that I'm representing? I just don't suit your festival, or am I asking too much, or where am I going wrong? And they were very clear. They just said, look, for the sort of acts that you're representing, who are colourful, but are not going to help me sell tickets because they're not particularly well known. Can you understand this? Yeah. So they do make a contribution to the festival vibe and would be the surprising band that I saw at a festival, but they're not going to really help them sell tickets or with the budget and all that. He told me, look, for that sort of act, I've got about $1,000 to $2,000, like about $1,500. And that was sending a band interstate. So I'm like, okay, well, that's good to know.
Yeah, I knew someone that ran a festival for a while, and this is probably almost 20 years ago now, and I asked him what would be involved if we wanted a group that I knew to play. But he basically just said that there wasn't a lot of money for it, but the idea was to have the merch and give money there.
Yeah. Yeah.
He didn't give me a figure, he was just like, it was a very broad question that I asked anyway.
Yeah.
Kind of broad answer, but
Yeah.
yeah.
We all have to search our own hearts for what we're doing it, why we're doing it. And I kind of really hate oh, it's good exposure, or we'll give you beer, or oh, you can sell merch. It's just like, what about every other job under the world where you actually get paid for your trade? It's so horrible. So there's that side of it, which is like, this is just terrible and it's so wrong, and everyone should be put in jail for using this. But the other side of it is, in Australia, for whatever reason, there's not a lot of money to pay artists. That's a kind of a cultural, political, long-term question. So I'm just talking about realistically, what do you want to do within certain parameters. What I might be able to send you guys is, I've just got this, Word document with the fields. And if you want, I can get Lou to send this to you. It's basically just a way of doing your homework. I'm giving you a lot of homework, I know, but what I'm trying to help you do is do it kind of like once, and then you can do it a lot. Does it make sense? I hope that's helpful. I mean, I know it's just, it gives you a lot of work to do. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions before we eat more chips? Please come to more of these. I'm just going to do a little blurb about, I'm not going to. The mix and master, get on the mailing list for Lou and the gang. They're doing a lovely thing up here on the Central Coast, trying to resource people like yourselves and your groups and your organisations and your schools and your councils, and And it's nice to meet each other and meet some like-minded people, because it can be very lonely and isolating, and particularly if you get a lot of knockbacks and you don't know why. You know, it's good to speak to other people about, well, how are you going with it, or have you had any luck, or what have you done? You know, that's what we need each other. Otherwise, it can be a. Thank God we're not writers of novels. That'd be the next most isolating thing. They're so introverted. They don't even want to come to a group like this. So well done, all of you, coming out. I've really enjoyed speaking to you, and I hope that you've got at least one little kernel of something that you can take away and add to wherever you're up to. I know you're at all at different stages of what you want to do. But, you know, I do believe in the transformative power of what you're all doing and how important it is, and the gifts that you are giving to every audience you're in front of, even if that's in your own from your own living room on. So please continue in sustainable ways, and get help from each other. And I look forward to seeing you on the live event circuit somewhere down the track. Thank you. Thanks to the team. Thank you.